Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to be covering one of my first subjects on my new series called On. Now I'm going to be covering one of my first ideas for a video for this series. Thoughts. On thoughts. I will include Bible verses as well to help you all see where I'm going. But first, before I get into this video, subscribe if you haven't already, like, and also hit the notification bell to be notified when I make posts or when I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's get to it. Every day we go about life and we have thoughts, we encounter situations, things happen, and it causes you to think a certain way, whether it's a good way or a bad way. We have thoughts, and sometimes they can be placed into our head, or they'll come if you're pondering on something that may have happened in the past or something that might happen in the future. Lots of things every day trigger thoughts, and sometimes if you're not aware of what exactly you're thinking about, or if you're not mindful of how much is going on in your mind in the back office, if you're not mindful of the thoughts that are festering in your head, it can lead to some problems. If you're pondering on something, it's just like meditating. It will grow and fester in the back of your mind and could turn into something either good or bad. It's kind of like when people say you bear the fruit of the seed that you plant. So if you plant an apple tree, you're going to get apples on that tree when it grows. But it takes trees some time to get big, to grow, and to bear fruit. It takes a lot of time. But you can't forget that it's there. So if you plant an apple seed and you want it to bear fruit eventually in the future, you have to give it attention. And if you give it the right amount of attention, the right amount of things, it's going to bear that fruit. But if you don't give it the right amount of things, or don't plant it in the right area, or you forget about it sometimes, so it just sits out there for weeks on end without getting watered or without getting the right nutrients, it might not grow the way you want it to. It'll start to have too many branches sucking up the life that the whole tree needs to continue to grow and get big, produce fruit. Or weeds can grow around it and try to basically choke it out, pull it out, and pull all the nutrients from the tree that it needs to grow, to continue to grow and get big. So it's the same thing with thoughts in your head. If you have something that you're pondering on, or something that's there in your head and you're not really dealing with it, or you forget about it, it's just like a seed. It will grow. Even if you do forget about it, it will grow, and it will bear either good fruit or bad fruit, depending on how much attention you give it, depending on what it is. It will grow. So the thoughts you have on a daily basis, whether it's good or bad, really affects you and people that are around you, people that you talk to, and it even affects the things that you do on a daily basis, the decisions that you make, and the ways that you look at life. It really affects those things. So if you don't get your thoughts together with a good amount of positive thoughts in your head all the time, then it can lead to some problems that you're not going to want to face. Even the littlest thought matters. One thing always leads to another. So your thoughts are attached to your personality. How you think, how you do things are a result of how you think. How you look at life, how you treat people, how you agree and disagree on different things is all a result of your thoughts. The way you carry yourself, the way you go about life, the way you do things, all is a result of how you think, how your thoughts work, how things work in your brain. It all leads to another thing, and which is your personality. It leads to your personality and the way you do things, the way you treat people, the way you go about life. And if you can observe someone well enough, you can start to notice patterns. You will start to notice things and pick up on things. And you will start to understand the way they think, the way they make decisions, the way they do this, that, and the other. And if you're a good enough observer, if you can observe these things, you'll start to see basically how a person thinks. But you can't, or you shouldn't expect yourself to do that to other people, or people to do that to other people. Observe people and basically see how they think. You have to do that to yourself as well. Observe yourself and look at the things that you do on a daily basis. Look at the things that you say, and observe how you think and how people will think that you think. And then you'll start to see that certain thoughts don't belong, or you need to have certain thoughts to combat others. If you can become to understand how you think and why you have certain thoughts, you can do the same with other people. I'm sure it's happened to you where someone will do something or say something and you'll wonder, I wonder why they said that. I wonder why they did that. But if you really observe the way a person carries himself, goes about life, the way they say things and how they say it, you can basically pick up on the different things that they're thinking about and notice things. You'll start to see how one thought can be placed in a person's head and how that little thought can lead to something much bigger or much smaller. But regardless to the size of the thought or the thing that was placed into your brain, it can always lead to something totally different. You know how when you're having a conversation with someone and you'll ask them about the weather, and then from the weather you'll start to talk about things that happen, things that you like to do with certain weather, and then when you're talking about things that you like to do in certain weather, you could start to talk about this, that, and the other, and it will just lead to something totally different. And then after a while, you'll realize that I'm talking about something totally different, totally opposite than what we started off talking about. Because every thought, everything leads to something else, something bigger or something smaller. That's why when something bad happens in your life, or you come across some very negative situations, it's best not to ponder on those things. It's best to try to find some kind of peace concerning these things and just letting them pass, getting rid of those negative thoughts and stop thinking about the negative situations that may have happened in your life. It's very best if you do that, because anything like any kind of negative thought or something like that can just sit in the back of your mind and fester, and once it grows big enough, you're not going to know what to do with it. You're going to want to get rid of all negative thoughts and things like that and finally be at peace, but it's going to be rather difficult if it sits there and fester and gets bigger. And that's why when you have certain thoughts, bad or negative, it's always best to deal with them right away so they don't fester in your mind. Because if you have negative thoughts flowing through your mind all the time, it's going to project itself eventually. It's going to show in your personality, and you're going to become a more so negative person than any other kind of personality that you might have. If you let negative thoughts fester in your mind, your personality is going to start to be a little uncomfortable for other people. People don't like negative spirits and negative feels and vibes, and people will start to pick up on that, and you'll wonder why people seem to be backing away from you, because one simple thought or a situation or something that happened, those thoughts are just festering in your mind and it's starting to project itself out, and people will start to notice that, and it's not the best thing. So even if it's just an idea that you have that won't really work, but it's just an idea that you like but no one else really likes it, or it's something that you can't do, instead of pondering on the fact that you can't do it, why don't you think of something else? let that thought just go on away, or try your best to figure out something for it. And if not, just let it go away instead of letting it just sit there and take up space in your mind, space that you could be trying to get rid of other negative thoughts or trying to move on and do something else. When you ponder on something, it's just like meditating. So if you are thinking of having a music career, or if you're thinking of traveling to some place and you're always thinking of it, you're basically meditating on that. Your mind, you're meditating on what you want to do, where you want to go, and it just sits there and sits there. And with those thoughts in the back of your head, you're going to do something. You're going to figure out something to allow you, to enable you to travel if that's what you want. So if those thoughts are there, it's going to make you motivated to just keep doing what you have to do so that you can travel if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to have a music career, if you keep that in your head, I want to have a music career, then you will realize that you're doing all this work, you're putting all this energy, all this positive energy on the fact that you want to do this, and eventually, especially if you're praying about it as well, eventually you will have yourself a music career and you'll be happy. So that's basically what meditation is. You sit there and you think on something that you want to do, or that you want to happen, or even if you're just meditating on scriptures to remember them, having those scriptures just playing in your head, or whatever it is you're meditating on, just playing in your head in the back office, it will do you good, lots of good. It's making it a piece of you, a piece of your personality, whatever that thought may be. So definitely focus on what you're thinking about and the thoughts that you are having, and don't let anything negative into your head, because it will sit back there. If you don't get rid of it, or if you don't deal with it, it will sit back there and you'll have a much larger problem to deal with in the future if you don't deal with it now. And if you want something to happen, if you have a certain thought or a certain way you want to be, let's say you want to be kind, and you just put that word, that thought in the back of your mind, I want to be kind, and it's just sitting there playing over and over and over in your head, back there, that you want to be kind, then you'll look up and you'll do a lot of kind things for people, and you'll become a kind person. If that's what you ponder, or that's what you think about, and those are your thoughts, you will become a kind person if that's what you want. So definitely be aware of what you're thinking about all the time, and it will definitely do you some good. Your thoughts really matter. Your thoughts are what lead you to do things, to make certain decisions, and have certain looks on life. Your thoughts are the key to a lot of things. So with that being said, read some of these scriptures that I have, and they will definitely help you. Stay tuned for my next video, and leave any ideas you may have for me for other videos that you would like for me to cover on this series or on other series that I have, or just any idea, period, that you would like for me to do a video on. Leave them in the comment section below and I'll try my best to do a video. And if you like my channel, share it with your friends and family, and stay tuned for more videos that I might post. I try to do videos weekly, sometimes every 2 weeks or every 1 week. I try to do videos as often as possible, and occasionally I also post on my community. So stay tuned. Always visit my channel whenever you like. See if I have something new, or turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified if I post anything or if I upload a video. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like.